Hi, my name is Aaron Meyer, and I'm here to talk to you today about the biology of building, or the practice of green building and its impact on the environment. I'll also be talking about how we can make simple changes to our lifestyle in order to benefit our lives and the planet. So, you might have heard on the internet or news about green building, and maybe you're a little unclear about what exactly it even is. Well, the formal description of green building is the practice of creating structures and using processes that are environmentally responsible and resource efficient throughout a building's life cycle, from siting to design, construction, operation, maintenance, renovation, and deconstruction. So basically, in plain English, that means that when a green home is built, thought is put into how to be environmentally responsible with not only the building materials that go into the construction of the home, but also how someone is going to impact the environment while even living there. Thought even goes into how the structure will be dismantled if it needs to be torn down. So, as you can see, the modern green building movement has evolved greatly from its humble beginnings in the 70s. Even though the picture on the left is pretty inaccurate to say the least, I included it to show you that sustainable materials like hay bales, mud, sticks, and all kinds of stuff were even used to construct walls for green buildings. Unfortunately, Wi-Fi was not available, like the sign says, but this kind of made it harder for the popularity of green building to even spread. But technology has kind of come a long way since then, and like the pic on the right, you can see green buildings can be anything from a skyscraper to a resort, apartment buildings, you name it, and it can be a green building. So you might ask, what does all this have to do with biology at all? Well, I'll tell you, biology has everything to do with green building. You see, traditional housing is used to seal out the elements. You're living in a house, it's hot outside. What do? You switch on your AC, or it's freezing cold, like tonight. You crank up the heater. And in fact, it kind of creates a seal so well with traditional housing that it causes a buildup of CO2 inside the home. With the windows and the insulation in the walls and things like that, it just makes this really, really tight seal. And you see, the buildup of CO2 in the home it's bad, obviously. As humans, we need oxygen to survive. And from our biology class, we have learned that plants convert CO2 into oxygen through photosynthesis. So, where are the plants? They're outside, right? So, some guys started to get the bright idea that where we live needs to be in harmony with our environment rather than fighting it. This causes not only a more healthy environment outside with the trees and plants and little animals running around, but more healthy organisms like people living in that environment, who live inside as well. So here's something interesting that I found in my research. You can actually see similarities between a green building schematic and a plant cell. You see, with green building, all the pieces of the home have to be working in concert with each other in order to be most efficient. Much like a cell. Um, and each part has a specific function. Just like the cell wall on the cell, that protects it from the outside. From the outside, is just like the wall of a home, and there's an energy source. And I just thought that was pretty interesting that there's actually a similarity between these two. So again, I'm reiterating that green homes are working together with their environment. We're not fighting the environment, we are working in harmony with it to maximize the potential of the living space. Now, I included these pictures because they show the green roofs. Now, I know there's a few of them in the Raleigh area, green roofs. I'm not exactly sure the addresses, but green roofs have been around for a very, very long time. And actually, they are people that plant grass and other native plants and things like that on their roof, and it actually makes sort of a micro ecosystem right on top of their house. And the neat thing about this is that these roofs virtually never have to be replaced. They're very, very low maintenance. They get watered by the rain, and obviously because they're native plants, you know, they're suited for their environment. I included the picture on the lower right hand side to show you that to have a green home, you don't necessarily have to have a shack out in the woods. You know, a green home can be beautiful. There's many cutting edge designs that are based on green living and sustainable building, and it doesn't all have to be like a rickety old thing out in the woods. So you might be saying, well, this is all great and good, but I'm not going to plan on building a house anytime soon or buy some property. You know, we're in college. We're not really thinking about that kind of thing right now. But there's actually some things that you can do in your life right now that will help you to live green. And the first one is to measure your ecological footprint. You know, we learned about that in class. That the ecological footprint, you know, basically is your effect on the environment and your impact. And why you want to do this first is because you want to have sort of a marker of a starting point of how you are impacting it. And you can actually find online an ecological footprint calculator. I've provided a picture of a website at ecoguru.org, and they actually have one. I perused it, and it was kind of interesting that they showed basically some quick questions. It only took a few minutes to answer them, and they kind of give you a starting point to your impact on the environment and some basic things that you can do to change that and to make your ecological footprint more environmentally friendly. So now that you've found your footprint, here's some things that you can do to live green. You can reduce your carbon emissions. Now, over half your personal ecological footprint is made up of your carbon emissions. That is how much carbon dioxide you release as a result of your everyday activities. Things like driving your car to the grocery store or to school. You see, if you can reduce that in any way, then you're letting out less carbon dioxide, which helps out the environment, obviously, because then it's able to process more of what's already out there. Here's some other ways that carbon emissions can be reduced. One is by properly insulating your home. This is important because you're not only sealing bad things out, but you're properly ventilating your home by opening a window every day to let some fresh air in. Now, I know that it's super cold out right now, but it's still important to do for a few minutes every day because it's good for the air inside, and actually you might find that you're starting to feel a little bit better by doing something as simple as that. Another thing is using cold water whenever possible. Now, I'm not advocating taking a cold shower because I'm not a fan of that at all. But using cold water with things like your laundry whenever possible with a high efficiency machine, or even with some special detergents actually prefer cold water. Um, This is important because you're not using your hot water heater to heat that water, so you're using less energy. And also maintaining your heating and cooling systems. Um, things like changing your filter in the heater or in the cooler. You don't think about that kind of thing that often, but if you put maybe a reminder on your phone or something like that, just go change it, and that'll actually help improve the efficiency of that. Or you could have a tech come out and check things out to make sure that there's no leaks, or they can even change the filter for you. So, in conclusion, green building and green living equals a happy planet. Hopefully, some of these practices will gain popularity and result in an improvement for us in the future. So, that's it. And thank you so much for checking this out.